welcome to Geeky Trails. I'm Todd.
I'm Lisa, and this is Burrito.
Burrito, the official, I don't want to say that.
Yeah, we're hoping to be, we're hoping that she becomes the official Go mascot.
The Go mascot, but we have another dog too, Remy, who is much bigger. And she may also be a co-mascot. But thanks for joining us. Yeah, that's another thing. Today we want to talk about another camping experience we had. Our very first one was in North Carolina, and this would have been the second place we took to go, correct? Mm-hmm. So now this one we discovered, you guys all probably already know about this, all right, but it's called HipCamp.
It's an app.
And it's an app, and we really like it. You got to be careful though. When you look at some of the camping spots, it says stuff like, I have like one spot available in my backyard, 3 miles from the beach. Not interested in that. But there are hidden gems.
Exactly. And there are some people that are looking just for that, is that one spot.
That's true. If you look for the one spot, I guess you're
but we were looking for something that, 5, 6, maybe 10.
Yeah, something a little bit more robust in terms of what's available. Now, what's funny is she found HipCamp actually, and we found a place north of here up by Silver Springs.
Yeah.
And we had booked that, but something came up and we had to cancel. We were bummed, and then our plans changed again, and we found another place. This is actually over by Lakeland, Florida, is where this place is. And we booked it, and it's actually called the Wilderness Shores Ranch Campground. Wilderness Shores Ranch Campground. And it is actually a working
Longhorn
cattle ranch. Now this campground, freaking sits on a ginormous lake. Now Lakeland is known for its lakes, but this sits on a huge lake. I mean, what?
I think it's 3 miles of
like 3-4 miles of lake shore. You're able to actually camp along the. They have sites 20 feet from the water that you can get on.
Which we snagged one of those.
Which we did get, and that site actually had electric.
It had electric and water.
Electric and water there. So they do take RVs and whatnot, of course, pop-up campers. Because of the size of the property, it's like
700 and
something
acres or something like that. Maybe not 750,000, 750 acres.
Yeah, 750,000 is a lot of acres, honey. But 750 acres is a lot of acres still. So, but because of that, it is unlimited, pretty much.
Boondock.
Yeah, if you want to camp, throw a tent, you can pretty much go anywhere there. They do have showers. They do have, bathrooms there. They do have dumps for your RV as well. They do 20, 30, 50 amp, plus the double water hookups there. So it's nice. There's not a lot of RV spaces though, just so you know.
Most people were in tents.
Yeah, most people we saw were in tents, but it is very, very pretty. When you pull it, now you pull up, there's a cattle gate like right across the way when you pull up.
Yeah, I'd say maybe 2 car lengths from the road you have to stop.
And when you pull in there, you can look to the left and you can see a large field with cows and things like that. And they do a lot. They do ATV tours. They do wagon rides.
Pretty sure they do horseback riding.
Yeah, they might do horseback riding as well. I think you're right. There's some trails. In fact, what's cool is the campground runs along this water's edge. There's a little pathway, at least like a little island that you can explore as well. And there were a lot of families with kids there when we were there.
It would be a child's paradise.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, if I was a kid, I would spend all day on that island exploring, looking around, things like that.
And that's exactly what these kids were doing.
Yeah.
Just having a ball.
Yeah.
Another thing to keep in mind is they have, basically, I'd call it a small petting zoo.
They do, because they have goats. There's the horses are there. The cows are there. In fact,
they free roam.
They free roam. So that kind of caught me off guard because when I got to our campsite, there was animal poo-poo in our campsite. So I was like, ooh.
And we didn't realize it was cattle. We're like, okay, they ran the horses through here.
Yeah, there's goat cat, there's goat poo, cattle poo, horse poo.
Someone's going to come in and clean this up. Well, no
one cleans it up.
And
so be aware of that.
Yeah. We did wake up in the morning and there was a longhorn steer in our
campsite.
When
we woke up in the morning, there was a longhorn. Yeah, actually, which is kind of cool.
It was cool.
So, but it was a beautiful campground. Yeah, there's also Wi-Fi. They give you Wi-Fi there as well.
Camp Store is phenomenal. And if you're not a vegan, if you are, I'm sorry, I just offended you, but they do process their own meat. And
yes. Yeah, they got a nice camp. Yeah, in the Camp Store, they sell bait because the bass fishing there is phenomenal and the crappie fishing there is phenomenal. We brought our kayaks, as you can kind of see in these video here in some of the photos, and we put our kayaks in and kayaked the lake, and it was pretty amazing.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was. But
next time we did take our fishing poles, but we didn't have the right bait.
We didn't have any freshwater stuff.
All of our stuff is saltwater.
So yeah. So next time we'll have that there. So, but you can kayak, you can explore that island. I mean, it's very nice. We were there for a long weekend. Really enjoyed ourselves.
It was over President's Day,
I think it was over President's Day. There.
Yeah. So Sunday night, of course, most people cleared out. He happened to have President's Day off, so I took it off, and so we pretty much had the campsite to ourselves.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. And again, super friendly. There are two things to kind of be aware of when you're on the campsite. The first one is be aware again of the animal poop. Okay, so if stuff like that kind of bothers you, even though it's beautiful and nice, you probably don't want to go there, especially when you're out free roaming, because there can be in areas a lot of poop. So,
and if you got little ones,
right,
that could
little
be
ones,
really a big issue.
So kind of be aware of that. The other thing is once that kitchen closes, once the store closes, I should say, at like 6 o'clock or whatever the time is, or 5, they don't have anybody on site overnight. So if you have a problem or a need, you got to call a number, which they will call you back, but it'll be the next morning.
So if you have any issues with noise or
anything going on, right, just kind of be aware.
It's not going to be addressed.
So that would be, really, that's the only 2 bugaboos, I thought.
Yeah.
Really, it's just no one overnight or no one there to, if there's an issue at night. And now they do close the gate, lock the gate, all that, so no one's going to just wander in, but just kind of be aware of that. But overall, easy to pull in, easy to set up. RV sites are pulled through. We had no problem getting everything set up. You can see by our video and our pictures what a nice little campsite we had right by the edge of the water. We just launched our kayaks right there, so it was pretty slick. So all in all, worth it.
I definitely go again.
Yeah, I would too. So A+ to Hip Camp for that one. And there's other ones we're looking at as well. But this Wilderness Shores Ranch Campground, definitely something to keep in mind, not only for ourselves, but yourself as well. If you're looking for something maybe a little out of the way and you're along the west coast, actually the west or the east coast, you can usually just pop over the lake.
Yeah.
It kind of splits the middle.
For us, it was maybe 45 minutes to an hour to get there.
Yeah, but it was worth it. We liked it. And the people in the
camp store
were very nice. The employees were nice. Even the guy emptying the trash on Monday, we were chatting him up, one of the ranch hands, and he was a really nice guy as well. So definitely on our, we've only been to a few places. I wouldn't say it's our top 10, but we haven't even been to 10 places yet. But it's definitely, we would go back there. We would go back there. We appreciate you watching, though. Again, if you can like and subscribe to this, that would be great. I've always wanted to say, ring that bell. I've never said that yet. For updates, we'll try our best to post videos at least once a week. And again, we're going to do stuff on fossil hunting, restaurants, historical sites, camping hacks, and camping locations. So a lot going on. But always remember, home is where your go goes. Thanks again, and we'll catch you soon.